Hey guys, I wanted to make a video covering some of the latest updates that have been added to the software that weren't covered in the previous video. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. The first one is a new feature well, for example, you can see sometimes if you select guest books or certain platforms, they'll have fields for German or Polish. And a lot of people don't use German or Polish or speak German or Polish, and if you don't want to use this particular field, you right click and select disable engines that use this, and it will automatically uncheck the platforms that use that particular field, and it goes away. So for example, if you didn't want to use platforms that require an email, you can click disable and it will automatically uncheck the platforms that use that. The next thing is down here at tools. There's more options added. Most of these can be found when you right click here. They're basically the same thing that's been moved there, but now you can actually export your project options. So if you have a certain way you like your project options set up, maybe PR1, anything you put here is basically like a save button or like a template. You can export options and you can save it however you want. You could call it option high PR option. Let me just save this real quick. Okay, so you see we have skip sites with more than 50 outbound links, skip sites with PR1. So anytime we want to make a new project, now we don't want to have to mess around with all these settings. All we have to do is click tools, import options, and import that setting we just made, and now it automatically checks off what we want. Everything that you set here will automatically be saved in the template, so that just helps cut down on setup time. The other thing is there used to be an option in your project options that allowed you to set priority. You could put one project, set it on high priority, and have another one on medium or low, and that's still here, but it's removed from this area now, and it's actually inside the project field over here. So you can click and set each project to a higher priority if you want, or you can right click and you can see what they mean. The double plus means high, 1+ means normal, and yeah, so it's just been moved here so it's more convenient. As you have your projects listed out, you can click and set the priority here. Also, if you right click and choose active verify, now it will only verify your links. So say you have a ton of submitted links built up and you don't see very many in the verified field, you can stop your project, go to active verify only, and now it will automatically go through and start running the link checking and see if your links have been found on those platforms, on those websites. The next thing I want to talk about is the new global options that have been added. If you click submission, you can see there's a new button down here called custom time to wait between search engine queries. This allows you to speed up the actual scraping of the data of the websites, but this isn't really recommended it's recommended that you don't change this unless you have a good amount of proxies or you're experienced with this, because if you set this too low, you can end up getting your IPs temporarily banned, and then the software is going to be even slower. So only if you're experienced with using something like this, then you can tweak it, but otherwise I would ignore it. In order for it to show up, you need to change to use proxies either for search or for everywhere, and then it will show up and it'll give you a little pop-up message with a warning, and then you can adjust it here. So this will speed things up a lot if you have the proxies to do it. But also you risk getting your IPs temporarily banned. The next thing that has been added is this new filter option. What these websites are, they hold a large list. It's basically a domain list that carries malware. And obviously you don't want your backlinks, or you don't want your websites posted on websites that contain malware, because that definitely won't look good in Google. So there's this new feature added, which basically is a blacklist. If you check up here, it will automatically scrape these websites. These are in here by default every whatever time you have set in here. So this is 24 hours. So every 24 hours it'll scrape these websites, and while you're posting, it will check to make sure that the link you're about to post on isn't on one of these malware sites. And if it is, it won't post on it. So it's basically a malware filter to make sure that you aren't posted on any type of malware sites. You can also import your own, remove or add any list you want, but I recommend using this. It doesn't really slow things down, and it works great. Also, you have this maximum size of websites to download down here. I would just leave that on default unless you're experienced with this. Usually domains with a higher amount of spam, this number might be higher. So if you're running an auto-approve list, you can always take this down to like 5 or 6 megabytes to have it run through faster. But if you don't know what that is, I would just leave this on the default. And the last feature is actually the newest one, and it allows you to create master link lists. Basically what it does is it automatically saves your verified links. You can either choose to save your verified submissions or your successful submissions, and it puts them in a folder you choose, and it sorts them for you. So basically this project here is mainly guest books and blogs that I've had running, and I have it saved here to my GSA site list, and I have it saving only the verified submissions, so it's only saving these here. If I open the folder where it's saved to, I now have all these verified links. It's basically, and it separates them by type of platform. So it's basically building auto-approved lists for you that you can use into the software. So next time you might want to create a project, you can just import your list, import one of your lists into your new project, and you know that the software is capable of submitting your link there because it's already done that before. And it's just a great way to have it automatically sort and build link lists for you. You can remove duplicates, and you can also import your own URLs if you want, and have it automatically detect the engine and sort those for you. So that's a really useful feature, and that pretty much covers all the new things that have been added to the global options. And I will create another video when more updates have been added.